Pokemon's 30th anniversary is almost here and things are starting to get crazy. Now if you take a look at this logo right here, yes, this is the official logo for the 30th anniversary, but oh wait, they released another logo with a Magikarp. Now usually when Pokemon releases things like this, they're hinting on something. If you look at something like Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Legends ZA, Scarlet and Violet, pretty much every other Pokemon game, you saw a little bit of hints before the game release. The most recent was the Mega Evolution. They would drop either a sneak peek of, ooh, look, there's a goo Pokemon, or ooh, look, so this is a fighting type. Whatever the case may be, so on and so forth. It seems like this is exactly what's happening right now. Let's get straight into the video. Now it looks like Kanto might actually get some sort of remaster, or something bigger is going to be happening with Kanto. Now no, I'm not talking about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Although those were fantastic games, I don't necessarily think that that's what it's going to be. But oh wait, what if it is? What if it is a remaster, but not a brand new remaster, but an old remaster of a remaster? Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Now, what if these games were actually returning for this special anniversary? Now, it wouldn't be too far off to say that Pokemon would actually want to release some of their greatest games of all time. Fire Red and Leaf Green really gave you that Kanto experience in a full sort of way. And honestly, I don't know if Pokemon is ready to fully remaster it once again. Because after all, we had the original Pokemon Red and Blue, you can count the original Pokemon Green, Fire Red and Leaf Green, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and if you count Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or even Pokemon Gold and Silver. Now that's a lot of Kanto, and there's probably even more that I honestly forgot about. But the point is, maybe this is what they're hinting at. So now, if we get a Generation 2 Pokemon, this could mean that they are ready to re-release some of their older games. And how exactly would they do this? Now there's definitely other options. Would they be able to re-release them on the NSO subscription service? Now that could be an option. But another option could be what Nintendo did for the 35th anniversary of Super Mario. They re-released some of the classic games into a special little edition where it went away in a couple of months. Now, this could be a situation. Because we know that Pokemon isn't really a big fan of re-releasing their games and letting them stay for some reason. So, if they made it a limited time deal, imagine how many pickups you would get from that. Now I think that a limited time deal is better than no deal at all. Because of course, if this is what Pokemon wants, they don't want anybody to get their hands on the games for some reason, well, there you go, get your hands on the games for a limited time and then you make a big boom of margin. Well, overall, that seems very interesting. If you haven't taken a look yet about all the collaborations of Pokemon, there really seems to set a theme. Now, if you look at the Lego set, it's all Generation 1 Pokemon. You have Eevee, you have Pikachu, and you have Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, all together for $600. Now, this might lead into my theory here, my hypothesis about what exactly is going to be happening. I'm telling you, something big is going to happen. Now, we always thought that we were going to be getting a Pokemon Black remaster. Although that could still happen, what if they're going to put that over to the next year? Because if you look at 2021, you saw Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You also saw Pokemon Legends Arceus. And then you saw Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That was kind of like the big Triforce of Pokemon games. You saw one remaster, you saw one new IP sort of game, then you saw one next generation sort of game. Now this could be what is happening. Because if you look at it, we are set to get Pokemon Generation 10 at the end of the year. But what is going to fit in this little bubble? Are we going to be getting some new generation sort of game? Or is it going to be the remaster? Now, hear me out. What if it is the new generation sort of game? Now, this could be really interesting, but I feel like that would lead more into 2027. After all, we did get a roadmap of Pokemon and it seems like something Pokemon Legends Galar is happening around that time. So who knows? But the remaster would make sense as well. Because hey, who doesn't want to play some of their fan favorite games in a new light, a new cartoony art style? something that looks really beautiful. Or maybe it's not even going to be a 2D game at all. Maybe it's going to be some sort of open world Pokemon game with all of these things. I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen, but a remaster would make sense. Okay, so it's in between Pokemon Black and White or Black and White 2 getting a remaster, or it's in between Kanto getting another remaster. But oh wait, I think it could actually be Black and White. Or we could see Fire Red and Leaf Green get a fresh coat of paint. Well, these are definitely very interesting times and very interesting situations. Okay, well then what's next? Of course, you have NSO. Now usually we would see 3 games that get their re-release, but we can't forget about the other games that are going to be seen this year. You have Pokemon Pokopia, you have Pokemon Champions, and Pokemon Winds and Waves. So that would be 4 Pokemon games if we get some sort of remaster. But then, what exactly is this? Why are we getting a Magikarp? Why are we getting a Pikachu? And we're probably going to be seeing even more. Well, I honestly think that it's as simple as that. We're going to be seeing something about Kanto, something that marks the original games, because that's where it started it all. If you can't play it on Nintendo Switch, then what? You can't play these games at all. You can't buy it on the DS, you can't buy it on the 3DS, you can't buy it anywhere because they don't sell it on the Game Boy anymore. So what in the world is next? You're not going to allow your fans to play this game during this special anniversary? Those games that started everything? I think it does make sense to release them on the NSO subscription if this is not going to happen. If we're not going to be seeing something that you can buy it for a certain amount of time and then it's a waste from existence. Because I feel like that's exactly what Pokemon wants. They want their games to feel special. They want their games to last a long time. That's why you don't really see any re-releases at all. Unless it's some sort of remaster that you can hop along to the store and go buy that remaster for a full price game. So is this exactly what's going to happen? Are they going to remaster their game full price? There you go. Or are they just going to throw the port and say, hallelujah, have fun? Well, that's definitely what could happen. But at the same time, it's definitely a very interesting thought. Now, I think that this is how it's going to be laid out in 2026. We are going to be seeing something to do with Generation 1 because it seems like that's the way that it's headed. Of course, in current time of recording this video, we only have really the Pikachu and the Magikarp. But if this continues on in Generation 1, they're hinting at something Generation 1. So I'm thinking maybe Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green could make a return, finally, on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. It could even be a remaster, a remake, or something big. Imagine that, a full-blown remake from the ground up of the original Pokemon game, to commemorate this special anniversary, to tell you this is what started it all. So we're going to give Pokemon fans what they really want, a full ground-up remake of the original Pokemon game. Maybe that's what Nintendo was referring to, ground-up remake. One game is going to get some sort of remake this year. So is this the game? Is this what everyone is referring to? Is this what's going to happen? Maybe it's not even Ocarina of Time. Maybe we're completely wrong about that. Maybe it is Pokemon Generation 1 getting some sort of remaster, some sort of remake, allowing everyone to play this game once again, to feel what it was like 30 years ago when the game started, but with a new fresh light, new fresh coat of paint, and maybe it'll capture that spirit of Pokemon once again. So what do you think about this? What do you think that we are going to be seeing? Of course, at the end of the day, we are already going to be seeing 3 Pokemon games. Now, of course, it hasn't been confirmed for Pokemon Winds and Waves. But right now, it seems like we are going to be seeing Pokemon Winds and Waves all the way in probably October. So, overall, do you think there could be 4 games, 5 games, or even more games? Let me know in the comments section down below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider to hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, as you know, and so many other things. News videos, hey, to catch you up on the latest Nintendo news. Anyways, thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and see you in the next one.